Hey guys, Kent Klewine here with Ink and Gasoline. I'm here at the IFTD show in Las Vegas. I'm standing next to a legend in rod design, Tom Dorsey, with Thomas & Thomas Fly Rods. You guys have really stepped up your game in the last couple of years. I know you've been a huge part of that. Please, would you mind going over a couple of the different rod lines that you're super excited about so that people can get a little bit more information about them?
Yeah, as many of you know, that over the years, we've had rods that were extremely sought after and loved, but the market always changes and people want one or another thing new. And an example in mind is the LPS line.
Love that rod, by the way. I love the LPS.
It's extremely loved, and we have a following on the LPS. I mean, even those of us in our shop that anglers, I fish with.
Yeah.
Skip Gibson loves the 4-weight. I like the old 3-piece 9-foot 5-weight. But the market began to get cautious, or whatever you might say is the reason, about 3-piece rods and 2-piece rods. People like to travel.
Right.
They don't like the 3-piece. I'm not sure why, except...
Well, you can't fit it in bags. You know, the airlines can be picky sometimes.
There's another reason. Trout fishermen fish a pool and they want to go to the next pool.
Right.
The 2-piece rod, they don't even unline it.
Right.
The 3-piece rods, you got a short piece and a long piece, or you have 3 pieces.
Right.
So the LPS change was to 4-piece. The same action as the LPS that people have known for years, except now we're calling it LPS2, in 4-piece. And it's a challenge because I'm a believer in a line of rods having a family resemblance. Everyone knows what the LPS action is.
Right.
The 4-piece had to match that.
Exactly.
Otherwise, I wouldn't have done it.
Right.
And it's not easy.
You nailed it. You nailed it. I mean, it's exactly the same action.
So that's been exciting. And then we have a new line of rods that's the ESP, which goes into the shorter and lighter lines even than the LPSs. ESP, by the way, is not extrasensory perception, it's extrasensory presentation.
Presentation.
And so we're excited about those.
And what would be a situation where you think that rod would really shine, the ESP?
If you're into 8-weight, 3-weight, I mean 8-foot 3-weight, 7.5 for 3, the more shorter, the shorter rods. So the LPSs never were offered in the short lengths.
Right.
Then I always was cautious about even attempting it because as you go shorter in rod design, they want to act faster. It's part of their nature. And that has to be dealt with. You have to change everything. I like a short rod to feel like a long rod.
Right.
I want to feel it load like like 7-8-weight would, even though it's a 3. And so that's been an exciting project.
Well, let's talk about the TNT, which is your saltwater, one of your saltwater lines right now.
Yes.
But also how you the No Sanctuary line, the NS.
They're 5-weight, 6-weight. Starting at 9 feet and range all the way up to 10-footer for 9. So it's a much expanded line based on what the TNTs used to offer.
Right.
Effectively, we took that rod line and made some changes to thinner and lighter reel seats than the original TNTs. Right. The color changed from red to green.
Right.
The range, as I say, extended now all the way up through 10 foot for 9-weight. So you've got quite a range. The TNTs were only viewed then to be saltwater rods, 9-footers.
And all your rods, premium components, awesome work. Just a real pleasure to cast and grace, and I have to tell you, thank you for being a big supporter of us, and we really look forward to seeing some of these new lines coming out and casting.
Well, by the way, the switch rods, another point of excitement.
Forgot about that, the switch rods. We got to talk about the switch rods. This is super exciting. Let's talk about that.
Me happy too, the design of those. 10-footers, 4-weight, 5-weight, 6, 7. So quite a range of light line, which is surprising and kind of fun to think that you can get out trout fishing with a switch rod when you're fishing trout, not necessarily steelhead,
right,
salmon, 4-weight stuff. Trout fishermen are getting very interested in switch rod technique. And as you know, it just opens up a world of line opportunities. You can short heads and Skagit heads. On the other hand, you pick those up and fish them single-handed, so you can put a weight-forward line on them and regard them as a single-handed rod because they're very light.
And the Switch, one thing that you had talked about is how a lot of these rod companies, they go with the longer rod and for the checking and empty and all that stuff, but they have a super, super soft tip, and how you think it's more important that you've got that consistent feel across the entire length of the rod, so that the casting doesn't suffer, right?
To me, the casting in fly fishing is the most enjoyable thing.
I agree.
The catching is secondary.
Right.
Yeah. You have to enjoy the casting, and
so the Switch rod doesn't have that floppy tip, is what I'm saying.
No, it doesn't. And for example, the 11-foot 3-weight Switch setup. I mean, it'll drive a line out on no effort on a Switch. I mean, a touch and go technique.
Right.
Pick it up, cast a single-handed overhead 3-weight dry flies. But yeah, I'm sure the Czech nymph enthusiasts are going to love that.
Yeah, I think so too.
And I don't want to make that soft tip to accommodate a signal for a specific kind of fishing, and then not be able to false catch the dry fly to the other side of the river.
Makes perfect sense.
So it's been fun, great challenge.
There you go, folks. Tom Dorsey, Legend Rod Design. Great rods here at Thomas & Thomas Fly Rods. For more information, please go to geekandgasoline.com. Thank you so much.
Thanks.